The trash and the hunger. It was a cold, dark night. The wind blew softly through the quiet streets of the city. Street lights flickered. No one was around, just silence and shadows. But something moved near the garbage dump. Not a cat. Not a dog. Something else. She was tall, thin, and her skin was not like a human's. It was pale blue, with glowing lines running across her arms. Her clothes were torn, her hands dirty. Her eyes, large and silver, searched the trash with deep hunger. She was not from Earth. She was a mother. She moved carefully, lifting plastic bags, broken boxes, and old cans. Her fingers shook. She had not eaten in days. Behind a broken wall, a small child sat curled up in a blanket made of cloth and plastic. The child's skin was the same as hers, but his glow was fading. His eyes were tired. His small hands held his empty stomach. "Mom," he whispered. The mother heard him. She turned quickly, checking on him. Then she went back to digging. She found a half-eaten sandwich, moldy, rotten, but it smelled like food. She wrapped it in cloth and held it close. Suddenly, a sound. Footsteps. Someone was coming. She froze. Her heart beat fast. She crouched behind the trash, eyes watching. A man walked slowly down the street. He wore a long coat and carried a flashlight. His name was Aaron. He lived alone, not far from here. He sometimes walked near the garbage area to feed stray cats. But tonight, he saw something strange. He stopped. He looked again. There was someone in the trash. At first, he thought it was a woman, maybe homeless. But when she turned, he saw her face. Her eyes were not human. Her skin glowed. He took a step back. "What the hell?" he whispered. The alien mother saw him. Her eyes widened. She stood in front of the child like a wall. She made a low, growling sound like an animal warning a threat. Aaron raised his hands. "Wait, I'm not gonna hurt you." She didn't move. He took a small step forward. She growled louder. Her body shook, not in anger, but in fear and weakness. Then the child coughed. A sharp, painful sound. Aaron's eyes moved to the little one, thin, shaking cold. He was just a baby. Aaron's heart softened. He knelt down. "Is he your child?" The mother said nothing, but her eyes said everything. She looked tired, not dangerous. Just desperate. Aaron slowly reached into his coat and pulled out a sandwich he had bought earlier. He placed it on the ground and backed away. "No tricks," he said softly. "Just food." The mother looked at the sandwich. She didn't trust it, but her child needed something. She picked it up, sniffed it, then broke it in half. She gave the larger piece to the boy. He ate quickly. Aaron watched. This was no monster. This was a mother trying to survive. He looked around. No one else was here. No police, no army, just him and them. "Do you understand me?" he asked. The mother looked at him. Slowly, she gave a small nod. Aaron stepped a little closer. "You don't have food, no home, you're hiding." She didn't answer, but her eyes lowered. Shame, sadness, fear. Aaron looked at the boy. "He's sick." The mother looked at her child and nodded again. Aaron stood up. He looked around the area. Trash, cold wind. No safe place. He made a quick decision. "My house is not far. It's warm. You can rest there." The mother tensed. She didn't trust him. "I won't hurt you," Aaron said. "Just come for one night, just for him." She looked at her child. His eyes were closing. His body was cold. She had no choice. She helped the boy stand up, then picked him up in her arms. Slowly, carefully, she followed the man. They walked down the street together, an alien mother, her sick child, and a stranger. The night was still dark. But for the first time, the mother felt a little hope, but they didn't know Someone else had seen them from the shadows. A camera blinked from a nearby building. A red light turned on. Someone was watching. Someone who wanted to know who or what this strange creature was. The cold wind hit her face as she followed the man. The child was sleeping in her arms. His breathing was slow, weak. Her legs hurt, her body tired. But she walked out the man. Aaron walked ahead, looking back every few seconds. He didn't speak. He didn't smile. But he walked slowly so she could follow. It was a quiet walk through dark streets. The city was asleep. But eyes watched from somewhere. Machines, cameras, maybe people. She felt it in her bones. Aaron's house was small, old. One light outside the door flickered. He unlocked it and pushed it open. "Come in," he said. She stopped at the door. Her silver eyes looked around. Then, slowly, she stepped inside. Warmth touched her skin. A heater hummed. The smell of wood, oil, and bread filled the room. She looked around. A table. 2 chairs. A couch. Books. Nothing dangerous. Aaron pointed. "You can rest on the couch." She placed the child gently on the couch and wrapped him in a blanket. He didn't wake up. Aaron brought a cup of water. She looked at it, then smelled it, then drank. "What's your name?" he asked. She stayed silent. He tried again. "Name? You?" She looked at him, then pointed to herself. "Karen." Aaron smiled a little. "Karen?" She nodded. He pointed to the child. "And him?" She hesitated, then said, "Lion." Aaron repeated softly, "Leon." She gave a small nod. Aaron sat down across the room. "You're not from here, that's clear." Karen didn't respond, but then she reached into a small pouch on her side. She took out a small round object, metal, glowing faint blue. She placed it on the table. Aaron leaned in. "What's that?" Karen pressed it. A tiny hologram floated above it. Her planet. It was beautiful. 2 suns. Blue. Trees. Tall towers. Then explosions. Fire. Screams. Aaron watched in silence. He understood. War. Escape. Crash. She looked at him, her eyes wet. Hide, she said slowly. Aaron felt something heavy in his chest. This was not a science fiction movie. This was real. A mother, a refugee. From the stars, Aaron stood and brought some bread and soup. He placed it near her. "Eat," he said. "Safe here." She looked at him, surprised. No one had ever been kind since she landed. She ate slowly. Every bite made her feel alive again. Suddenly, the child coughed hard. She rushed to him. His eyes opened halfway. "Ma," Karen touched his forehead. Her skin glowed softly. His breathing slowed. Aaron saw the glow. "You have powers?" She didn't understand fully, but she looked at her hands. Only small. Aaron sat beside the couch. "He's sick." "You need medicine." Karen looked down. No credits, no help, Aaron thought. He didn't know alien medicine, but maybe a doctor? He looked at the device again. "Can this call your people?" She shook her head. "Broken, no signal." Then something strange happened. The device beeped. Karen's eyes went wide. She picked it up fast. The blue light grew brighter. A weak signal. Someone was trying to contact her. Aaron stepped closer. "What is it?" Karen stared at the light. Her lips moved fast in her own language. The light flashed, then turned red. Signal lost. She dropped her head. "Too far," Aaron said. "But someone's out there, looking for you." She didn't answer. At that moment, outside the house, a van slowed down. Inside, 2 men watched the house. One of them zoomed in with a camera. "There she is," he said. "That's the alien." The other smiled. "Let's wait. She come out. We'll grab her." Back inside, Karen held her child close. Aaron stood by the window, thinking, why did he help her? She was not human, but she was a mother, and maybe that was enough. He turned back to her. Tomorrow we fix the device, he said. We find help. She looked at him, unsure, but then she nodded. For the first time in days, she felt a little safe. But danger was closer than they knew. In the shadows outside, the hunters waited. Morning came slowly. A soft light touched the windows of Aaron's house. The city was still quiet. The sky was gray. Inside the small house, Karen opened her eyes. She had not slept well, not for many days. But this place felt different, warmer, quieter, safer. She looked at her son. Leon was still asleep, wrapped in the blanket. His chest moved up and down. His skin had a little more color now. He was alive. She touched his head gently, then stood up. Aaron was in the kitchen. He wore the same coat from last night. He looked surprised when he saw her standing. You're awake, he said. How's the boy? Karen looked back at Leon. She gave a small smile. Better. Aaron placed 2 plates on the table. One had bread, eggs, and fruit. The other had soup. I made food, he said. Karen stared at the plate. Real food, not trash. Not rotten. Her hands trembled as she picked up a spoon. She sat slowly and began to eat carefully, quietly. Every bite warmed her body. Her eyes closed for a moment. Aaron watched her. You were starving, Karen nodded. Long time hiding. Aaron took a sip of his coffee. Why Earth? Karen looked down. Her voice was soft. Nowhere else. War, destroyed home. Many dead. I run with Leon. Aaron asked gently, where's his father? Karen paused. Her eyes darkened. Gone. That one word said everything. Aaron didn't ask more. Outside, the 2 men in the van were still watching. One man with a scar on his face held binoculars. She's still in there. The other lit a cigarette. We wait till she leaves. Then we take her. Back inside, Karen reached into her pouch again. She took out the damaged alien device. The blue light was very faint now. Aaron leaned forward. Can I try something? Karen hesitated, then gave a small nod. Aaron opened a drawer and pulled out a small toolkit. I'm not a scientist, but I fix old radios sometimes. He sat down and looked at the device. This is not human tech, but maybe I can help. Karen watched silently as Aaron worked. He cleaned dust, removed a cover, checked wires. The glow pulsed once weak, but alive. Suddenly, Leon coughed. Karen rushed to him. He was hot. Too hot. Fever, Aaron said. Karen panicked. Need medicine. Need now. Aaron grabbed his keys. There's a clinic nearby, but it's not safe to take you there. People will see. Karen picked up Leon, her hands shaking. I go, or he die. Aaron looked at her. He saw the fear in her eyes. Not for herself, but for her son. He made a choice. I'll go get medicine. You stay here. Lock the door. Karen didn't like the idea, but she trusted him. A little. Aaron ran outside. The cold air hit his face. He got in his car and drove fast toward the clinic. As he drove away, the 2 men in the van saw him. He left her alone, the one with the scar said. The other grinned. Perfect. They got out of the van, quietly. Back inside the house. Karen rocked Leon gently. She looked out the window. Something felt wrong. She heard footsteps, not Aaron single quotes s. Heavy. Slow. Closer. She stood up fast. She held Leon close to her chest. Her heart pounded. Outside the door, the scar-faced man whispered, now. He kicked the door hard. Crack. Karen screamed. The child woke up, crying. Karen backed away as the 2 men stepped inside. Don't move, one said, holding a stun gun. She growled low, like before but louder now. fiercer. Her hands glowed slightly. The men paused. What the? One muttered. Karen's eyes glowed bright. She looked wild. Dangerous. Leon cried louder. The men stepped closer. Karen raised her hand, and a pulse of light exploded from her palm. Boom! The lamp shattered. The men fell back. She ran to the back door. Locked. She looked at Leon, then at the window. She had one choice. She kicked it open with all her strength. Glass broke. Cold wind rushed in. She climbed out, holding her child tight. She ran into the alley. Her legs were weak, her arms tired. But she didn't stop. Behind her, the two men shouted. They were coming. She didn't know where Aaron was. She didn't know who to trust, but she knew this. She would protect her child, or die trying. Rain began to fall. Thin drops at first. Then, faster, harder. The city felt colder now, empty, silent, afraid. Karen ran through narrow alleys, her child tight in her arms. Her feet slipped on wet ground, but she didn't stop. She didn't look back. She didn't have to. She could feel them. Chasing her, two men. Loud footsteps, yelling voices. One of them was bleeding, but still running. Leon cried softly. His little hands gripped her jacket. He was burning with fever. Almost safe, Karen whispered. Almost. But she had no idea where she was going. A few streets away, Aaron returned to his house. His hands carried a small brown paper bag, medicine, clean cloth, and a juice box. He smiled. He was thinking about Leon's smile when he'd get better, but when he reached the front door, his smile disappeared. The door was broken, wide open, glass on the floor. His lamp shattered. His breath stopped. Karen? He called. No answer. Dropped the bag and ran inside. Empty. Gone. He looked around. Something sparkled near the broken window. A drop of blue light. Warm to the touch. He closed his eyes. I shouldn't have left her alone. Karen turned a corner and found a dark warehouse. Old, locked, forgotten. She pulled on the metal door. It creaked open. She stepped inside. It was cold. Dusty. But it would have to do. She laid Leon down on some old blankets. He was shaking. His eyes fluttered open. Mama. I'm here, she whispered. She pressed her glowing hand to his forehead. Her energy passed to him, weak but gentle. His breathing calmed. His eyes closed. He was still sick, but alive. Karen sat against the wall, hugging her knees. Her body shook from cold and fear. She didn't notice the shadow watching her from the dark. Not one of the hunters. Someone else. Above the warehouse, hidden in the steel beams, a figure crouched. Tall, thin, wearing armor made of dark metal. Its eyes glowed green. It spoke softly into a small device. Target found. She has the child. Preparing extraction. It was not human. And it was not here to help. Back at his house, Aaron grabbed a flashlight and the alien device. The blue light was blinking faster now. Something had changed. The signal was stronger. He turned it over. A symbol had appeared, a red triangle. Not good. He opened his drawer and pulled out an old backpack. He stuffed in medicine, food, and a small hammer. He had no training, no plan, but he had made a promise. I'm coming, Karen. Inside the warehouse, Karen felt something shift in the air. She stood slowly. She reached for her son. Then she heard it. Click. A sound, metal, above her. She looked up. And saw it. Eyes in the dark, green, watching. She moved. Fast. Grabbed Leon, ran behind a crate. A voice echoed from above. Karen of Talvas. You are not safe here. She froze. It was her language, but it didn't feel friendly. Who are you? She whispered. The figure dropped from the beams, landing like a ghost. Black armor. Masked face. A long weapon on its back. I am a collector, it said. You left without permission. You broke laws. I am here to return you. Karen stepped back. We were running from death. The law doesn't care. Karen looked at her child. He's just a child? He is valuable, the collector replied. She understood now. This wasn't rescue. This was capture. Suddenly, a noise. The warehouse door slammed open. Aaron stood there, out of breath, rain on his face. His flashlight pointed straight at the collector. Get away from them. He shouted. The collector turned its head. Human, you do not belong. I don't care, Aaron said. She's under my roof. She's under my care. Karen stared. He had come back. He had found her. Something inside her glowed again, not just her skin. Her hope. The collector stepped forward. Karen stood in front of Aaron, holding Leon. I won't go back, she said. I won't lose him. The collector reached for its weapon. Aaron raised the hammer. Hands shaking. This wasn't a fair fight, but sometimes the smallest lights shine brightest in the dark. Rain hit the metal roof like falling stones. Inside the warehouse, it was a standoff. Karen stood between her child and the armored collector. Aaron stood behind her, holding a hammer, his hands shaking, but firm. The collector's voice was calm, cold like metal. You cannot stop me, human. I was born in war, built for capture. Karen growled low. I escaped war. I won't return. The collector raised his arm, but before he could strike Beep, the alien device in Aaron's backpack blinked fast. Then faster. Beep, beep. A blue light shot out, straight into the sky. The collector paused. What is that? Karen's eyes widened. It found a signal. She rushed forward, grabbed the device. A tiny hologram opened. A map, Earth, zoomed in. Then out. Then ... Another signal responded. Far away but alive. A soft, broken voice came through the device. Karen, is that you? Karen's mouth dropped open. Rail? The collector's head turned sharply. Impossible. He was lost in the collapse. The voice continued. I followed your trail. My ship is damaged, but I found you. Tears formed in Karen's eyes. You're alive. Aaron stepped forward. Who is that? She whispered. My mate. Leon's father. Above Earth, hidden behind clouds, a small alien ship floated damaged, burned but still alive. Inside, a weak man leaned over controls. His face was thin, his skin like Karen's blue, glowing but faded. He coughed into his arm, but he smiled. He had found them, back on the ground. The collector raised his weapon again. That changes nothing. I was given orders. I will return you, all of you. Karen stood tall now, voice clear. You lied. My planet fell, but you stayed loyal to power. You don't protect survivors, you hunt them. The collector didn't deny it. Aaron turned to her. What do we do? Karen looked at the device. I can boost the signal. Rail can land, but I need time. The collector aimed. You have none. Suddenly a sound outside, loud, angry. Tires. Screeching. Voices. Guns. The two men who chased her had returned. But now, they brought more. Hunters. Greedy humans. They thought she was a monster, or a prize. One shouted, We want the alien. Give her to us, or we torch the place. The collector looked outside, then at Karen. You are hunted by your own kind, and by theirs. You have no home. Karen stepped forward. Wrong. She held her child close. I have a reason to fight. She touched the device. Her skin glowed bright. Energy surged into the signal. High above. Rail ship blinked. The signal locked in. Location confirmed. He smiled. I'm coming, Karen. Back at the warehouse, the door exploded open. Guns pointed inside. Aaron pushed Karen behind a crate. Stay down. He grabbed a metal pole. His body shook, but his eyes were full of fire. Leave her alone, he yelled. A bullet flew past him. The collector moved fast, blocking one shot, dodging another. Then something unexpected happened. He protected them. Karen watched in shock. You're helping us? The collector replied, Your people hunt. Their people fear you. But your child is the future. He turned to Aaron. You are not strong, not trained. But you stood between danger and the weak. That is rare. He raised his weapon not to shoot, but to shield. Protect the child. I will buy you time. Outside chaos. Humans with guns. Flashlights. Fear. Inside. Silence. Then action. Karen lifted the device, pushed all her energy into it. Her skin cracked with light. The warehouse shook. In the sky, clouds began to break. A ship descending. Leon opened his eyes. He saw the blue sky glowing. He smiled weakly. Daddy's coming? Karen kissed his forehead. Aaron looked up. What now? Karen looked at him. Now we fly. The sky was no longer quiet. Clouds opened above the city. A strange shape pushed through, silver, glowing, scarred from old battles. Karen looked up. Her heart raced. Rael was here, her mate, her child's father, but they were not safe yet. Inside the warehouse, the collector stood at the entrance like a steel guardian. Karen, Aaron, and Leon stayed low behind broken crates and metal shelves. Outside, the human hunters grew louder. Get the alien. She's worth millions. Another voice shouted, Take the kid too. They said he glows. Karen held Leon tight. He was barely awake, his small hands cold. Aaron looked out the window. There's too many. We can't fight them all. The collector scanned the sky. I will hold them, he said. But your escape path must be clear. Karen's eyes glowed softly. What made you change? The collector didn't answer for a long time. Then, in a low voice, I was built for war, but this child made me feel peace. A spotlight from a drone flashed into the warehouse. There, inside. Bullets cracked through the metal walls. Collector roared and ran into the open, his armor catching fire from lasers and bullets. He fired back with alien weapons, cutting down drones and smashing through the human line. Karen and Aaron didn't wait. She picked up Leon. Aaron grabbed the signal device and opened a back door. Follow me, he shouted. They ran through back alleys, through puddles and smoke, past broken buildings. Behind them, angry shouts, running feet. The chase had begun. High above, Rael guided his damaged ship over the city. He saw the chaos below. He saw Karen, her blue skin glowing in the dark, holding their child, running, and his heart ached. He pressed a button. Auto drop in 60 seconds. On the ground, Aaron led Karen to a parking garage. There's an old truck. I keep it here. Not fast, but tough. They reached it, breathing hard. Rain still falling. Karen gently placed Leon inside. He was shivering. Aaron started the engine. It growled like an old beast, but it moved. Where's the landing spot? He asked. Karen looked at the signal device. She pointed. Open field. 2 kilometers. Aaron pushed the pedal. The truck moved into the street. Behind them, headlights. 4 black vans. The hunters had vehicles. Now. One man leaned out with a gun. Stop or we shoot. Bullets hit the back of the truck. Karen screamed. Aaron swerved. Tires screeched. A drone dropped from the sky, but Karen threw a glowing ball of light from her hand. Boom! It exploded in fire and smoke. Aaron glanced at her. Remind me not to make you mad. Karen smiled a little. Leon opened his eyes. Are we flying yet? Almost little star, she said softly. Suddenly, ahead the field, and from above a beam of blue light came, down like a pillar, the ship hovering low. Ready. Aaron drove straight toward it. The vans behind them didn't stop. One rammed the truck. It swerved again. Karen held onto Leon tightly. The back door of the ship opened. Rail stood inside, his body thin, face tired but eyes burning bright. He shouted, "Karen!" She shouted back, "Rail!" Aaron yelled, "Hold on!" He drove straight into the light. The truck began to lift slowly, pulled by the ship's beam. The van stopped and skidded. Men jumped out with weapons. One fired a rocket launcher. Collector appeared badly damaged, armor cracked, and leapt in front of the rocket. Boom! He disappeared in fire. The truck rose into the ship. The doors shut. Silence. Inside the ship, shaky, dim but alive. Karen and Rail held each other. Tears. Relief. Love. Leon whispered, "Hi, Daddy." Rail kissed his head. Aaron stood in the corner, stunned. "You're flying a spaceship with aliens." Karen walked to him. She placed her glowing hand on his shoulder. "Not alien. Family." Aaron smiled. Rail turned the ship. "We must leave Earth now. They will follow." Karen looked down at the city lights. So much pain, so much kindness, so much fear, but she had found something rare here. A fae, human who cared, and a chance to live. The engines roared. The ship rose into the sky, leaving the hunters, the fire, and the world behind. But they didn't know. Earth wouldn't forget them. Not so easily. Space. Dark, endless, silent, but not safe. Karen, Rail, Leon, and Aaron were aboard the ship, wounded, shaken, but alive. They had escaped Earth, but Earth was not done with them, and someone else wasn't either. The ship moved through the stars, running on low power. Systems flickered. Walls shook with each pulse of the engine. Rail guided the controls with tired hands. "The core is damaged. We can't fly far." Karen placed Leon in a soft pod to rest. His fever had dropped. His skin glowed again, gentle and warm. Aaron looked at the stars through a window. "So, where do we go now?" Karen answered, "We don't go anywhere yet. Someone is following." Rail's eyes narrowed. "How do you know?" She didn't need to answer. A shadow appeared behind them in space, sleek, black, fast. Second ship. The hunter ship. Rail checked the screen. They locked on. 1 minute to contact. Aaron stepped forward. "Can we outrun them?" "No," Rail said, "but maybe. We can end it." Karen stood tall, eyes glowing. "I'm done running." The enemy ship sent a message, a cold metal voice came through. "Surrender the child. He is property of the Empire, or all of you die." Rail looked at Leon. "They don't want just Karen. They want him." Karen's jaw tightened. "They want his future." Aaron grabbed a small alien tool like a blade. "Then we protect it." They prepared quickly. Rail set the ship to drift to look like they were broken. Karen hid Leon deep in a shielded chamber. Aaron waited near the main door, heart pounding. And then the enemy ship attached. A loud clang, then silence, until boom. The doors exploded open. Metal soldiers entered, tall, silver armor, red eyes. No mercy. Karen moved first, energy bursting from her hands. Aaron followed, swinging his alien blade. He was slower, but fierce. Rail took fire to the shoulder, but still fought, still stood. A final figure entered. Not a robot. A man. Tall, pale, skin, cold violet eyes. Wearing dark royal armor. "The Empire wants its seed," he said. "That child holds the last blood of Talvas." Karen stood between him and Leon's chamber. "He's not yours." The man looked at her. "You gave birth to something greater than you understand." He raised his hand. A weapon formed dark, humming, alive. But before he could strike, Aaron threw himself forward. Blocking the blast, he hit the floor, coughing. Burned, bleeding. Karen screamed. She ran forward, light bursting from her body, brighter than ever. The man fired again. She didn't dodge. She absorbed it, and then released it. Blast of pure light, it hit the dark figure straight in the chest. Flew backward into the wall, his weapon shattered. He looked up once, shocked, then fell. Still, silence, smoke, then. The lights in the ship turned green again. Rail pulled Aaron from the floor. "You're insane, human." Aaron coughed. "Yeah, that's what being a friend means." Karen held Leon close, tears on her cheeks. "It's over." But not completely. Back on Earth, news had spread. People had seen the light in the sky. Videos leaked. Governments denied. But the world had changed. A mother. A child. An alien. And a man who chose to help. In space, Karen stood by the window. Earth glowed far behind her. Rail joined her. Aaron walked in, bandaged, holding a cup of strange alien tea. Karen looked at them. Then at her child, now sleeping peacefully. She whispered, "He will grow in peace." Aaron smiled. "And maybe, one day, he'll return to Earth, not to hide but to help." Rail nodded. One day. The ship turned slowly, flying into open space. No longer hunted. No longer afraid. Together. Family.